Hello. Today I want to share with you guys my cultural artifact, my knife, or box cutter to be exact. I'm going to explain how and when it came into my possession and how this little box cutter ended up saving my life just a few years down the line. Let's take it back to 2012. I was in the process of moving from one side of town to the other. And that's when I realized I needed a box cutter to open up a bunch of old containers and crates that I hadn't used since 2008. That's when I remembered I had been gifted a box cutter at work recently. So I went over to my work bag, I grabbed it, and I began to use it. Well, by the end of the day, I decided to place it in the center console of my car so I wouldn't forget about it. But I forgot all about it. So fast forward to New Year's Eve 2015. I had become a Lyft driver earlier that year, and I was looking to make some big bucks on New Year's Eve. I started my shift around 10 a.m. that day, and I did over 60 rides. I drove passengers from the Valley to Southgate to Orange County and back. Every city and every town, I was there. Well, around 11 p.m., I received a notification from the Lyft app. It said something like, head to downtown LA or to Hollywood to receive a 200% bonus on every ride. Man, say less, right? I'm there. I dropped off a couple in Palmdale, and I parked my car in front of a bowling alley as I eagerly waited for the next ride request. Well, no more than 5 minutes later, I got my first ride that qualified for the 200% bonus. I left Palmdale and began making my way towards downtown LA. I hopped on the freeway and I was so pumped because I really wanted to start the new year off with a nice little chunk of change in my pocket for once. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Around 11:37 p.m., something horrible happened. A man sitting on the center divider of the freeway jumped in front of my car and I killed him. I tried to swerve out of the way, but it happened so fast, I clipped him with the left corner of my car. I remember the steering wheel locking up after that, and the car tail whipping him as I began to spin out of control. At this point, everything felt like it was in slow motion. My car was now spinning and gliding across the freeway. I even saw two cars drive past me as this was all happening. I also noticed that I was heading straight to a small metal rail on the opposite end of the freeway. Suddenly, the car stopped. I had hit the rail, but I didn't fly off of the freeway the way I thought I would. No, my car was now just hanging halfway off of the freeway. And I desperately wanted to get out of there. But unfortunately, my seatbelt was stuck. I just couldn't get it off. And that's when I remembered the box cutter. So I carefully started to reach for the center console. I was able to grab it and use it to cut the seatbelt off. I slowly climbed out and was immediately approached by a mother and daughter that had witnessed the whole thing. The firefighters arrived and shortly pronounced the man dead. CHP questioned and arrested me, but I was immediately released thanks to the statements made by the mother and daughter. This box cutter will forever be a symbol of my will to live and resilience in the most difficult of situations. I will never forget that day, and may that man rest in peace.